Johto. Johto. I ain't got nothing to say, honestly. I don't know nothing about this series. I've only watched the Johto seasons once, and only once back in 2021. It's definitely my least favorite series out of all the series. Sorry, Johto fans. Mainly because it just felt average. Every season of the anime, from my perspective, had something about it that made it unique and kept me interested. Like for Diamond and Pearl, it was Ash and Paul's rivalry, or Infinite character development. X and Y was watching Ash being a freaking amazing trainer while watching Greninja cook day in and day out. And Black and White was just pure stupidity. But when it came to the Johto seasons, they just felt empty. So with all that being said, let's jump into the video. Also, sorry for being like 2 weeks late on this video. There was just some school stuff and life stuff and whatnot, but it's whatever. It's all behind me. So yeah, enough stalling. Let's just get into this. Ash and his friends arrive at the Silver Conference and meet Tyson, who is from Little Root Town, which no one knew at the time, so they probably thought everyone's wee-wees there were little.
Town, which is in the Hoenn region.
Little Root Town?
I think it's on the other side of the ocean.
Yes, Brock, cause where else would an entire region be? So we got the torch, and the runners are ready to run, but we can't get the torch lit. Why? Basically, a long time ago, there was a war on this land, and after it ended, the lake was more dry than an RB sandwich. Then Ho-Oh came out of nowhere and somehow restored nature with fire? Yeah, I don't know how that's possible. Then everyone was like, you alright, I guess. Then they saved the remaining flame and called it the Sacred Flame, which is what we use to start the Silver Conference. That did not answer my question whatsoever. Apparently, the reason why the torch runners couldn't get to the flame was because of a Sneasel, a Chop, and a Machoke were fighting everyone off who got too close. Team Rocket shows up and do what they usually do, which is being annoying. Anywho, Sneasel packs up Totodile no problem, so they had to run a two-man offense real quick. They got rid of the front court, then went straight for the back court. Team Rocket shows up again, but no one cares. Tyson got fed up and sent out his Blaziken, which had everyone perplexed. Like you'd think they saw a world where the Clippers won a championship. I'm sorry. After Tyson caught Sneasel, Gary showed up and told Ash that his Indigo League run was a fluke. So Ash was like, oh, nah, I got something for him, don't worry. Once the preliminaries were all set and done, the league begins. Wait, no, we gotta watch Ash and Gary have a nostalgia trip. And we gotta see another Team Rocket scheme. Bro! Before the battle starts, Ash meets Macy. They were about to throw down, but then Team Rocket comes in for the third time, trying to steal Pokemon. Bro, can we put this behind us and start the league? Anyway, since Ash got that main character aura, Macy develops a crush on Ash. Bro, it is not that deep. No. Because when I do anything for the hoes, I don't even get a thank you. But then when it comes to him, all he gotta do is exist and he got girls running towards him. Why is our 10-year-old getting this much pussy? Anyway, after Macy gets digmatized and a whole bunch of other stuff, the semifinals begin. Finally! Throughout the whole battle, Ash had Macy locked up like it's Alcatraz. She sends out Slugma, but Totodile forces her to switch into Electabuzz. Ash responds by switching into Phanpy, which made her switch back to Slugma. Girl, just take the L. Phanpy hits Slugma with Rollout, and Slugma retaliates with Flamethrower, which is neutral, by the way, for all the people that were screaming it in my ear. There you go. Phanpy deflects it with Defense Curl and uses Earthquake, then KO Slugma with Takedown. Macy sends out Quilava and serves Phanpy a nasty Flame Wheel Quick Attack and Flame Wheel combo. Ash switches to Totodile, and Macy sends Electabuzz back out, which led to Totodile getting absolutely rocked. Ash's final Pokemon is Squirtle, but this ain't any normal Squirtle, no. This is Cripple. Wait, hold on. Squirtle hits Electabuzz with Water Gun, then dodges its Thunder Punches like how I dodge these hoes. Come on now. Electabuzz deflects Water Gun with Iron Tail, then smacks Squirtle with Iron Tail. Squirtle gets off a Water Gun in midair, then decks this man with Skull Bash. Quilava gets sent back out and evaporates Water Gun. Both Swift and Bubble explode on contact, which allows Squirtle to hit Quilava with a Water Gun. Squirtle gets hit with Quick Attack, which caused him to fall on his back and unable to get up. But like I said earlier, this ain't your average Squirtle. No, this is Squirtle from the streets. This the same Squirtle that was head of the Squirtle squad, you know what I'm saying? So he turned into a Beyblade and packed this man up. Hood style. Now we got Macy going up against Jackson. Now you might be wondering, Titan, how is Macy still battling? Ain't she lose to Ash in the last episode? Yes, she did. But that's not how this works. In the semifinals, you have to come out with the most points in your bracket. A win is 3 points, a draw is 1, and a loss is 0. Whoever has the most points moves on to the victory tournament. So basically, everyone gets like 2 chances. While Ash and Jackson were chopping it up, their Pokemon were doing the complete opposite. So they're fighting over an apple, right? But it breaks in half. Squirtle was more than happy with what he had, but this stupid spoiled Azumarill had to feel some type of way and throw it at Squirtle. So Squirtle had to put on his thug glasses and remind them that he from V-Block. Bulbasaur was trying to calm everybody down, but Azumarill wasn't having it, so he smacked him across the face. Bro, 20 seconds of screen time and you already wildin'. What's going on? Anyway, because of that, Squirtle was like,
"Come to the street, bro. I will beat your motherfucking ass."
Bulbasaur was trying to brush it off and be the bigger Pokemon, but then Meganium tricked him, so he was fed up and went in for the smoke, and Squirtle was not too far behind. He was like, "Oh, word? I'm with that!" So now they're both fighting, but thanks to Harrison, it didn't last that long. The battle between Ash and Jackson begins. Pikachu dodges Azumarill's water gun, then tries to hit it with Quick Attack. Azumarill dodges, then blocks Pikachu's Thunderbolts with Bubble Beam. Azumarill then uses Icy Wind, then follows up with Iron Tail. But Pikachu grabbed Azumarill's tail and got one back for his boy Squirtle. Jackson sends out his shiny Magneton. Ah, so cool. I don't really care. Why you hating? Leave me alone, bruh. Damn. They both use Thunderbolt, which they didn't really need to. Then Pikachu goes in for Quick Attack. He gets paralyzed by Thunder Wave, then gets taken out by Tri Attack. Ash sends out Cyndaquil, who also met the same fate as Pikachu. So Ash sends out Bulbasaur to finish the job. Jackson tries to use the same tactic for the third time, but little did he know Bulbasaur was familiar with his game. He made easy work out of Magneton and turned him into a fidget spinner. Now it's Bulbasaur versus Meganium. They're both trading moves, but since Meganium is fully evolved, its moves had more power, but you almost forgotten who Bulbasaur is. Him! He was dodging Meganium's body slams like how Nick Cannon dodges child support, then hit him with a Razor Leaf. He got hit with Razor Leaf, but he ain't no punk, and he hit him with a freaking suplex! Oh! I ain't gonna lie, all of this over an apple is crazy. But I get it though, if it was chicken nuggets. Bro, if someone messed with my chicken nuggets, they gotta come in, just know that. Anyway, Bulbasaur gets hit with Razor Leaf, then turns into Spider-Man and uses Razor Leaf. They both go band for band with Vine Whip, then they have an epic Solar Beam collision. The dust clears, and it's a draw. But since Ash has the most points, he moves on to the victory tournament to face Gary. Before the battle starts, Ash has this little nostalgia trip about the time when him and Gary were fighting over a Pokeball. But not only does this make Ash and Gary's rivalry go a little deeper, it also makes you question Ash's mother. Did she send that boy to school? Cause in the flashback, Gary used the word philosophical and Ash's dumbass thought it was some kind of Pokemon.
Ah, I see. Are you looking for something a little bit more philosophical?
So, what is that? Some kind of new Pokemon?
You stupid.
What are y'all teaching these kids? Are y'all teaching these kids? Anyway, the next day was a day off, so Ash is in the lab cooking up a battle strategy for Gary. But like everybody over at the age of 60, he doesn't know how to work a computer. So, but the way this man Ash is crashing out over a computer crash gotta be one of my favorite League moments of all time. Like, there was no reason for you to get that mad over a computer crash unless you were typing up something and you forgot to save and it just crashes on you. That's a reasonable time to crash out. Ash still doesn't know what he's gonna do about Gary, so Brock put in that call and brought in...
Hey, look guys!
Yup, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the oldest child but gets treated like the baby of the family, Charizard! After a whole bunch of irrelevant stuff, Ash versus Gary begins. Gary leads with Nidoqueen and Ash leads with Tauros. Nidoqueen uses Rock Smash, but really you just use Earthquake, but whatever. Tauros tanks it and charges in with Horn Attack. While Ash's mom is flicking up for the gram, Tauros gets bodied by Hyper Beam. Ash switches to Heracross and Gary switches to Magmar. Heracross hit him with Fury Swipes and threw it in the air. But then Magmar used Fire Blast and basically became it and slammed into Heracross. Heracross was able to blow the flames off of it, then took out Magmar with Mega Horn. Gary sends out Blastoise and made easy work out of Heracross. Ash's next Pokemon is Muck. It gets hit with Skull Bash, then it uses Sludge Bomb which Blastoise deflects. It catches Blastoise but got hit with Hydro Pump, so Ash switches to Bayleaf. Blastoise deflects Razor Leaf, then catches Bayleaf with Bite and just threw her into the wall. By halftime, Pikachu was just begging to be subbed in. You'd think Ash would use Pikachu in an important battle like this, but he chose to bench him, so you know he wasn't having it. Right now, Ash is down 3-1, so he better turn into 2016 Braun or something. He sends out Snorlax and Gary sends out Arcanine. It was going in for takedown, but then it hit a pump fake into a step back fire spin. But despite that, Snorlax launches a Hyper Beam from inside the fire spin, taking out Arcanine. Gary sends Nidoqueen back out and lands double kick. It tries to use Hyper Beam, but Snorlax dodges it and straight up clocks it with Ice Punch, KOing it. Damn, he moving quick with it. Gary's next Pokemon is Scizor. It dodges Hyper Beam, then decks Snorlax with Metal Claw, taking it out. Okay, y'all moving a little too fast with this. Slow down! Ash sends Muck back out, and it immediately got thrown into the air and KO'd with Swift. Excuse me? So now with Ash down 3-1 again, he sends out Charizard to close out the battle, and I ain't gonna lie, this a Hall of Fame performance right here. Just watch. Scizor tried to dodge Flamethrower, but that didn't work. Golem tried to hit it with Rollout, but Dragon Rage said otherwise, so now it's Charizard versus Blastoise. Red versus Blue. Hometown, throwdown. Blastoise deflects Charizard's Flamethrower, then lands Hydro Pump. Charizard gets hit with Skull Bash, so it tries to come in with an attack from the air, but Blastoise is keeping it at bay. Eventually, Charizard uses Flamethrower on the battlefield, and everybody was confused. Even the announcer was like, what type of bullshit? I mean, interesting and unique strategy. Not trying to lose his 527 an hour. They don't really go into detail about why he did this. My guess is that it was either to clear the battlefield, or he knew Gary was going to use Hydro Pump to clear the battlefield and just create a bunch of steam. I don't know. Anyway, these two are up close and personal, then Blastoise dodges a point blank Dragon Rage. Charizard then lifts Blastoise into the air but gets bitten in the process, but since Charizard is one of, if not the greatest fire starter of all time, he had to show Blastoise why no one picks him at the lap. He slams Blastoise on the ground and called game. That is some Hall of Fame activities right there, ladies and gentlemen. Put some respect on his name. So because Ash won, Gary starts to calm down a little bit and was like, you alright, I guess, and gives him the second half of the Pokeball. Yeah, y'all didn't need to bring that back. For the second round of the victory tournament, we got Ash versus Harrison. Pikachu starts first after being benched all last battle, and Harrison sends out Kecleon, which Ash knows nothing about. Pikachu goes in for an attack, and Kecleon casually just... It then hides in the grass, so Pikachu uses sound to try and locate it. But it was too fast, so it grabbed Pikachu by the tongue and threw him. Pikachu barely escapes Psybeam, then hides in the grass. So Kecleon decides to turn into a lawnmower and cut the grass. But in doing so, Pikachu was able to grab Kecleon's tongue and KO it with Thunderbolt. Harrison's next Pokemon is Sneasel. It dodges Pikachu's Thunderbolts, then lands a Metal Claw, taking out Pikachu. Ash's next Pokemon is Totodile. It catches Sneasel's arm in its mouth and starts doing a Totodile stomp, while Sneasel is just there like, hey man, cut it out bro. Then Totodile hits him with a good old Tail Whip. Well, he didn't actually use Tail Whip. He didn't even use a move actually. Ash just said finish him. Harrison sends out Hypno next. Totodile tries to use Leer, but Hypno was like,
Oh, scary! Oh, shiver my timbers! Shut up, man!
So he told little bro to go to sleep and sent him to bed. Next is Snorlax. Since it was already asleep, Hypno used Dream Eater. But Snorlax didn't like that one bit. He was pissed. He said,
You dare interrupt my dream of me copping some Snorlax chicks?
No, sorry. Sorry,
ain't gonna cut it with me, boy.
I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
Take that up with God.
Alright! Good work, Snorlax!
Yeah, big Latoy.
In the second half, Ash sends out Noctowl and Harrison sends out Steelix. Steelix gets hit with Confusion, then uses Dig. Idiot. That's not gonna do anything. What? I mean, I kinda get it. Even though it's a ground type move, Noctowl is still getting hit. That's something I actually never understood about the games. Like, if a Tailo was just on the ground while Earthquake was being used, does it take damage or does it just stand there? Ash sends Snorlax back out, but it got wrapped. Steelix tries to use Crunch, or according to Harrison, Scrunch.
Felix, use Scrunch attack!
But all Snorlax had to do was use Ice Punch, then followed up with Hyper Beam, and Steelix was no more. Harrison's next Pokemon is Houndoom. Snorlax uses Hyper Beam, but it got countered, resulting in Snorlax being taken out. Ash sends out Bayleaf, which no one really understood why. Like, yo, are you trying to lose? But hold on though. When it comes to the anime, characters doing stuff like this usually means they about to cook. So let's see what happens. Houndoom burns Bayleaf's Razor Leaf, then Bayleaf uses Vine Whip to close Houndoom's mouth. Then Bayleaf slams Houndoom on the ground and finishes it with Body Slam. You gotta be one sorry ass fire type to lose to a Bayleaf. If it were Torkoal in the situation, I'd understand. I'd be disappointed, but I'll understand. But Houndoom? Come on, bro. Harrison's final Pokemon is Blaziken, which had no problem getting rid of Bayleaf. So now it's Charizard versus Blaziken. They both kind of go back and forth with Flamethrower until Blaziken lands a nasty Fire Punch, and Charizard retaliates with Flamethrower. Blaziken lands another headshot, then Charizard hits him back with its tail, and then pile drives him with Seismic Toss, which would have done a lot more damage if Blaziken didn't use Flamethrower to soften the landing. Charizard lands a Flamethrower but couldn't finish the combo, which led to it getting hit with Blaze Kick. Both Flamethrower and Dragon Rage collide, which knocked down both sides. And with sheer willpower, they're both able to get back up and continue fighting. But unfortunately, it was too much for Charizard to handle, so it fell, meaning Ash lost. I mean, it was better than the Indigo League. Now you might think that Harrison went on to win the entire league, right? Nope. He also got eliminated. You want to know who won? John Dixon. Oh, you don't know who that is? Yeah, me neither. One final Team Rocket scheme later, and everyone goes their separate ways, concluding the Johto League Silver Conference. I don't know why I just got chills saying that. What the heck? While I did say at the beginning of the video that the Johto seasons felt very bland, and that statement still kind of stands right now, the league definitely makes up for it, especially towards the end with Ash's battles against Gary and Harrison. My favorite moment is definitely Ash's crash out when he was preparing for Gary though. That is an all-time favorite of mine. He had me rolling with that hand gesture, bro. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day or night depending on when you're watching this. I know this video was a little late, but we're back now, and I have another video on the way, so stay tuned for that if you want to. Also, sorry about the noise in the back for the second half of this video. My family is home, and while I usually try to record when they're not home so it's a lot more quiet, that's not the case anymore, so I kind of have to just deal with it. I could tell them to be a little more quiet, but if I did, they'll probably just hit me with the, you don't pay the bills around here, or I don't know, something, I don't know. But yeah, later. Good Lord, I gotta work on time management.